Hello and welcome to part 3 of our lecture on working scientifically. Today we are going to cover the important topic of citation and plagiarism. We will be looking at the part citation and after that what is plagiarism and how you can avoid it. So there are different types and rules of citation. And on the left side, I will describe to you what source, what information you have to cite, how and what information you have to give with the citation in the bibliography. And on the right side, I offer you different styles how to organize your citations. So you're mainly working with scientific papers, and scientific papers, all of them have authors and a year and a title. So you are going to show those informations in the bibliography. So all authors, the year when it was published, the title, and also the journal. And with the journal, you have to also include volume and issue. And also, if it's a longer paper, then the pages you were drawing the information out of. It's also wise to include the DOI. Especially if you're working with literature management software, then you can use DOI to import papers, a lot of scientific papers into your management software. But we will cover that in the next chapter. For reports that are not scientific papers, they also have normally authors, a year and a title. So you're also going to include those informations into your bibliography. And you will also include what institution wrote this report and if available in URL and in date when you access this URL. For books and book chapters, you again have to include all of the authors, the year and title, but this time also include the publisher of the book or the publisher of the chapter. You have to mention both of them, and the book title. And also, if there's a volume available for the book, then include this too. And publisher and location of the book is normally included too, as well as the ISBN if it's available. For websites and databases, you have to sometimes dig a little bit deeper. What authors produce this website or database, but try to find out the authors and include the year and the title and the URL you access those data or the website. And also include the date when you access the website. And it's also wise to have a screenshot or download the website because sometimes websites change and informations on them change, and you don't want to have the situation that the person in charge of evaluating your thesis is not able to access those data or the website. Then you want to show this person, hey, okay, it was available when I wrote this thesis. And to be able to do that, it's always wise to have screenshots or download the website. And it's also good for you because you also want to know what information you took from the website and want to be sure, or maybe you want to show yourself that you didn't do an error there and copy pasted the wrong number, for example. On how to reference and how to do all of this citing, there are mainly two different styles. One is the parenthetical referencing. It's also called the Harvard style. So mainly you use the author and the year within the text, and it's an in-text citation. So the author name and the year is enclosed in round brackets and embedded in the paragraph you want to cite. And in full alphabetical bibliography is appended at the end of your paper or your work, and that way you can always search for the author and find what paper or book or whatever you reference to. We recommend this style, we recommend this method because in our field of research it's the most common one and it's the most easiest one. But you also can use the subsequential referencing, that's the numerical style or the Vancouver style. There you have consecutive numbers in the text in order of the first occurrence. So first paper gets the number 1, second paper gets the number 2, and then you have those numbers in parentheses or superscripts. I would not use superscripts, because if you want to have like an footnote and then write whatever in it, then sometimes this gets a little bit messy. So I would suggest you use parentheses and have then a complete and consecutive bibliography at the end of the paper. But I suggest you use the Harvard style, and for the layout of your bibliography, I will mention that later too, but you can have a look at the Journal of Industrial Ecology, and we are at the chair are using this style in the style guide of the Journal of Industrial Ecology. So I recommend you use this style for your bibliography too. Makes it easier for us to assess your work, makes it easier for you to work with it. So as I mentioned, there are different types and rules of citations, and what's also very important is how to handle direct and indirect quotes. So a direct quote, I expect that you know what it is, but I wrote it down here. So a direct quote is a word-for-word repetition of what someone else said, and this is enclosed in quotation marks and cited with reference to the original source. For example, here, according to Christoph Helbig et al., the global demand for superalloys is dominated by the aviation industry, and then you have here the citation where he wrote this sentence. And the indirect quotes is an, as it says, an indirect quote, a restatement of what someone else said. On the right you have again the example. Christoph Helbig et al. Emphasizes the dominance of the global demand for superalloys by the aviation industry. So you see that the sentence changed a little bit, and that's why it's an indirect quote. When you use mainly indirect quotes, direct quotes you can use as a style element, but I would suggest that you don't use too much of direct quotes and work mainly with indirect quotes. It's also easier in my opinion, and it's a little bit of a preference question and style question, but in my opinion, it's very hard to read a lot of direct quotes in a scientific text. So the last part is regarding plagiarism and avoidance of that. And for you as a description, plagiarism is the act of using someone else's words, ideas, or work without giving proper credit or attribution to this person. It can take many forms, as I highlighted before in the first part of this lecture. I explained to you different styles of fraud and plagiarism. Can be, for example, copying and pasting text from a source, paraphrasing someone else's work without proper citation, or submitting work that someone else has written. So this famous ghostwriting. And as I highlighted before too, plagiarism must not always be bad intent. So it can also happen just because someone is not working in clean and well manner, and try to avoid it, and not only try it but avoid it, because plagiarism is no fun, and you really have to learn how to work scientifically. So start by using good tools, for example literature management software. That way life will be way easier for you, and really try to deploy clean and a good working style. So that's also what I told you. Try to start with your first paper, writing down what's that paper and what information you took out of it, or keywords and so on. That way you won't forget a paper. As Gutenberg told the news, he was losing oversight of his PhD work, and that was why he is now guilty of plagiarism, and why they withdraw his PhD. and you don't want that to happen to you. And if you need help with that, there's a set of resources to help students write with integrity. So check out plagiarism.org and yeah, maybe you find some helpful and interesting informations there. There's also different other sources of information, for example, the Singapore Statement or the Ombudsmann für die Wissenschaft. The later one is a German a German person you can write to when you see plagiarism in scientific work, for example. But they also have information on how to avoid plagiarism. And because it's get a lot of traction, a lot of news coverage in the last weeks and months, I also want to show you some ways how to work with ChatGPT and other large language models, so-called LLMs. And I also want to highlight how you can work in a scientifically good way with ChatGPT. So the use of ChatGPT and similar softwares for inspiration is allowed. What is not allowed is that you write your thesis with ChatGPT. So you ask ChatGPT for write me my thesis, and then it's writing your thesis. That is not allowed, because that would be in one-to-one adaptation of a text that someone else wrote. In this case, a large language model, but still it's a violation of the independence requirements and counts also as plagiarism, just like using a ghostwriter. And if you want to use informations from ChatGPT, if you want to directly use those informations from ChatGPT or other software and large language models, then you have to provide a copy of the complete chat history as you would do when you have an interview with someone. Yeah? And append this protocol in your supplementary and indicate all aids and tools you used, as you always do while rating and scientific work. And and if you're only using ChatGPT to get some inspirations, that is allowed, but really take care that you do not get problems with plagiarism. And keep in mind that LLM systems are not omniscient and error-free artificial intelligence, but they are just large language models, and you must always confirm every statement independently and substantially substitute it with sources. Yeah. So you are responsible for your results, and you cannot blame ChatGPT for it. And I want to make a little exercise with you. So please stop this video again if you want to, but it's optional because ChatGPT you have to register there. So I won't require that, but if you're interested to play with it a little bit and try it out, and then I invite you to do that. So open chat.openai.com and ask ChatGPT for the 5 most important papers regarding your thesis topic, and try to find those papers, for example, with Google Scholar after that. And try to do that now, and but set yourself like a time limit, like 5 minutes or so. Try to find them, but don't get frustrated, because ChatGPT is often inventing paper titles or authors with existing paper titles. And try this out. And if you want to share your results, if those are funny or interesting results, then share them with your fellow students, or with me, or with your instructor in the next present lecture. And now I invite you to pause this video and try out ChatGPT if you want to. So now you tried out ChatGPT, maybe, and we will see each other in part 4 of this lecture then, and then we will cover the part regarding literature management. See you then.